You're saying approaching the table as white people here, black people here. You're assuming white people are here. White people are here.
Look at the statistics.
No, white people are here.
This is a statistical
White
reality.
people are here. There's
okay,
white
and
people
if they're
that
here, then we're here.
No.
If they're here, then we're here. This is a statistical reality.
With you,
like, what are you talking
just
about?
get for you specifically. There are white people that are not as successful as you.
Yes, right. So people don't sell drugs where he lives because
They do sell
need
drugs.
To, because
they do sell drugs. They do sell drugs.
Okay, but are people being arrested?
No,
hold on. So are people being arrested for the drugs in your neighborhood?
Not that I'm.
He don't know. He's not a cop. So how will he know?
So people are selling drugs here and they're being
let me explain.
arrested. People are selling drugs here and they're not.
Let me explain.
And you're saying that this is equal.
No. Let me explain.
Man, I'm out of here. I gotta get to class. Y'all have a good one, man.
What's up, YouTube? Hope you guys are feeling good. Today, guys, we're back here with a new video. Today, we're going to check it out. Whiny black labor range quits after faced with reality that white privilege does not exist. Okay, this is going to be amazing to watch. I'd love to check the video out with you guys. This is by Officer Tatum. He's an incredible man, and he's working on the Turning Point USA of Charlie Kirk's company. I'd love to check the video out with you guys. I just want you guys to see the breakdown from Officer Tatum. It was really interesting to watch this video. So I want you guys to check it out together with me.
There's nothing that white people can do to stop black people from succeeding in America today. There's no law, there's no legislation, there's no hierarchy. There's nothing that can stop black people from being just as successful as anybody else in America today.
True.
So,
do you believe that or not?
So, I mean, there's nothing officially on the books that says you're...
No, unofficially.
So let me finish. There's nothing on the books that officially says you're black, you can't do this. What we're existing in today is after generations of systems that excluded black people specifically from access to economics, from infrastructure, from education. Now we're born after generations of that, where people now have access to that and they can meet out who gets it. So we see in all the statistics, black people have access to the lowest numbers of economics. They have the lowest education funding. They have the lowest access to venture capitalists. This doesn't just happen out of nowhere. This happens after generations of literal laws that were met. It was collusion between private businesses and the government to specifically exclude black people from opportunity. We know this in redlining, we know this in gerrymandering, we know this in Jim Crow laws. I mean, we just barely got to actual, I mean, we're still fighting over whether or not we have a proper representation in corporate demographics. I mean, we have DEI and all this, but still look at corporate demographics. It's still white men, vastly the majority of it. Do you think that's because of ability? No.
Yeah,
it's
no,
because
I think
let me finish.
Okay.
It's because of generations of access that were excluded from a certain community and given to a certain community.
So right now,
let me finish.
No.
So now we see in 2025. Look at the statistics. Do you think it's a coincidence that the communities that were systematically excluded from these things, again, collusion from private businesses and governments for generations, hundreds of years, we're what? 50, 60 years out of this now. Do you think it's a coincidence that these communities have poor outcomes versus these communities that were given this access?
All right, look, there's no need to even insinuate that there's coincidence at all, because there's actual actionable things that you can see that cause communities to fail. And we know that a lot of it, you gerrymandering and all of that stuff. You could say, what about the two-parent homes?
Thank you.
We had more success, black people had more growth and success after slavery at an accelerated rate that at this point we would have been growing faster than white people. But at some point, we bought into the propaganda of not pulling ourselves up by our bootstraps, not marrying the women that we have children with, not exploring economic success and having a community of growth and money circulation, and we divvied all that away, and I believe the civil rights movement, and now we're in a desolate place, still hoping and praying that politicians are going to rescue us, and they never will. Black people today, if you go and get an education, you will be successful. I went to a school that was Dunbar High School. You can look it up on your phone. Dunbar High School and Stop 6 right in the hood. How am I successful? Because I got an education. The people from that school that did not do well is the people that did not pursue their education. Now, whether they mama and them helped them, that ain't got nothing to do with me, ain't got nothing to do with white people or nobody else. Unfortunately, they were in an environment like that. But that's a choice by individuals. That's not a system in place.
So, I mean,
and you say coincidentally, I'm trying to find an example of how these communities are failing. You can find correlated things. households that do not succeed are households that are broken. Do
True.
you agree?
Yeah, yeah.
How are households broken? I don't think there's a system in place to tell you to get on top of Betsy and hit that and then don't take care of your kids. That's not a system in place that's doing that. A man is making a decision to do that. It's exploited, exacerbated in culture and music by black people that affects black people. And that determines the outcome that we see today. Not Jim Crow, the crack epidemic, all of that stuff is things of the past. And even then, it didn't affect all black people. If you had crack in the community, nobody made you sell that to your brother or your sister. That's a fact. People decided because they wanted quick money. They want quick success. They want a ball. They want to do all this stuff. So they begin to degrade their own people in order to get temporary wealth and success. That damaged the black community. Violence, gang membership. That's the difference. That's one of the big differences between poor blacks and poor whites is you have a level of violence in the inner city communities that don't exist in other places. This is cultural dynamics that we are afraid to address because we rather say it's the white man's fault. It's some system that happened 70 years, 80 years ago, slavery a couple hundred years ago. We go down a list of those things and not addressing the real issues. I grew up in a black community. White people weren't the problem. White people historically wasn't the problem. That community used to be a very successful black community in Stop 6, Fort Worth, Texas. Very successful. Doctors, lawyers. Then what happened? The degeneracy of a generation of blacks begin to destroy the community.
Do you really think that's what happened, man? Do you really think
I think that has a lot more to do with it
really
than
think
Jim Crow and
people
all
were
of that
like
stuff.
going wild and they're like, let's just be fucked up and fuck this all up? Like, do
Yeah.
you really think that
I
that's
think they
what
got
happened?
tricked into
You
it.
don't
They
think
got tricked
that,
into it.
You don't think that there was a system
No. I think
that
they got tricked into
specifically
it.
that deindustrialized their centers, that tax theft, that they took the taxes from them and gave them to wealthier neighborhoods? Like, this is how it happened.
No. I think that
that was a tangent. I want to go back to what
No,
you
no,
were
I
saying
think that-
before.
I think
'cause
that-
I got 2 points. Wait.
Okay.
So the first thing. So I just want to say first off, I agree that culture absolutely determines outcomes, and I think that a fucked up culture is going to generate fucked up outcomes. So I'm not here to say that there isn't an issue with
I agree.
culture in our community. I mean, this is fuck all them. This is a conversation between you and I as black people, right?
Right.
Like, we get it.
We agree on
We
that.
understand that there is fucked up things that happen in our community. Absolutely. I think it's both though. You can't divorce the systemic inequality that has been perpetuated on the black community from the outcomes.
I agree.
You can't divorce
I agree.
single-parent households from the war on drugs, which specifically targeted black
But
communities with harsher sentences.
I disagree.
We know this for a fact.
No,
we
no,
know that
I
black communities were targeted more than white communities were
I
targeted.
disagree.
That's
We
not
know
true.
that the administration that started
That's
the war
not
on
true.
drugs did this. We know this from their advisors. We know this from the people who wrote the plans. They said we wrote these plans to purposefully impact negatively the black community intentionally.
Let me-
So we know for a fact that this didn't just happen out of a vacuum. Again, like your neighborhood, people didn't just wake up one day and say, let's fuck all this up. No.
No. What happened is we bought into a system, right? And this is what I think Malcolm X was trying to say way back in Martin Luther King's day. Martin Luther King, in my personal opinion, was a pawn that was used to destroy the black community because we did not continue our success and develop economic growth within our own ecosystem. We destroyed that ecosystem to go join an ecosystem that we weren't invited to. And that hurt us tremendously because you can see the growth and success of black people in the 30s and 40s and then 50s, 60s, 70s. You can see the way they voted. Black people voted for Republicans. Black people were conservative Republicans. The first politicians, black politicians were all Republicans.
Yeah, but then what happened to Republicans though? Like then they
Do some research. Go study something. The parties didn't switch. That's the craziest thing ever. Anyway,
they
so
didn't switch,
black
but
people
they shifted over
no,
time.
they
They didn't trade
They
places.
didn't shift.
They didn't trade places.
I'm
but to
prove
say
you.
the party politics didn't shift over time is historically false.
I'll prove you that that it didn't shift.
I'm not saying
so
they
what I'm
traded
saying
places,
is what I'm
but
saying
they
is
didn't
that
shift as
what I'm
fast.
saying is that the way you generate wealth, and we all know this to be true, is if you have your community pass money within the community. You can look at it today, and it's historically been this case. When black people get successful, where do they move? They move out of the black community.
Facts.
They don't stay and build the black community. They
Facts.
don't circulate their wealth in the black community. They don't buy from black-owned businesses.
True.
These are the things that hurt us economically more so than all these other contributing factors. The contributing factors are true. Black people were alienated, black people were ostracized, black people were not allowed to go into certain white spaces for economic success and growth. But that did not deter black people from not supporting black banks. Why didn't we support our own banks? The Jewish people have done it in a this is what Kanye, even though he crazy and he went off the, but this is what Kanye was saying. Look at the Jewish community. Look at how they employ each other, they do business with each other, they make sure that their community eats. Black people, what they did in a pursuit to be like white people or be with white people at a time where white people wanted nothing to do with them, they vacated the opportunity to build a community and build wealth. Look at the black people today.
That's true.
All these billionaires, where do they invest their money? It's not
White
in the black-owned
companies.
business. Al Sharpton wanted to boycott Target. For what? For 24 hours. What did that do? Nothing. You'll never see Al Sharpton say, every black person send your kid to a HBCU. Why wouldn't he do that? Because he's not going to send his kids to a HBCU. Every black person put your money into a black bank and support black-owned businesses. Why wouldn't Al Sharpton tell people to do that? Because he ain't finna put his money into black-owned businesses. So what I'm saying is that we have more power to create success in the black community than we are being told. The white man had a contributing factor, but we have done it all, or done a lot of it to ourselves, that white people who have a vested interest to hate blacks don't have to do anything anymore.
I think where you and I would absolutely agree is that there needs to be a focus. Black people need to focus on building our community and strength. I think that integration, what it did was it put us into spaces where we still didn't have access, where the focus should have been on let's make stronger black communities rather than let's dismantle this, right? Because we see clearly it didn't actually do much except for
It hurt us.
Yeah, I believe if integrationists, abolitionists really loved black people, they would have come to shop at their businesses instead of saying, no, close that and come and live in my neighborhood, right? So I agree with you on that. However, I refuse to ever agree that white supremacy hasn't had an impact on us and that racism and that these systems have not had an impact.
I think we agree. It has had an impact. I do not think that to this day, like today, that any of that will stop a black person from succeeding in America. Has it had historical impact?
Man,
yes. But let me make this point, because I want everybody to know this. I'm only speaking of black people building a community and all this for black people who believe that they want their own thing. I don't want that. I'm an American. I want all of us to work together. That's what I want. So I don't care that black people don't only use black banks, because I partner with everybody. White people have been a contributing factor of my success more so than black people have ever thought of. So in my opinion, if black people want to complain about not having access and not having generational wealth and all of these things that white people are doing, the argument for them is that you had the opportunity, call it out that you don't even support your own people.
I just want to say, man, it's not just
That's
complaining.
true.
There's actually instances in which you say black people pull yourself up by your bootstraps, right? What does that mean? That means invest in us, right? So there's actually instances in which
That means that we need to
stop complaining
assimilate.
and invest in us.
No, we need to assimilate.
Okay.
We need to say,
Right.
instead of me saying, I'm black, hey, people come shop in my black business, or I need black people to support me. It's like, no, I want everybody to support me.
But would you disagree that black people we need to focus specifically on our community? I mean,
No.
Is that not what you were just saying?
No.
Is
I'm
that
saying that's the
what we
argument for
had
people who complain.
before was black economy and
What I'm saying is that,
integration ruined that?
what I'm saying that the people who complain about it, the people who are black people who are so
Complain about
downtrodden, all
racism,
of this
everything.
stuff. I'm explaining from that perspective. For me, in my life, I feel like that we all need to work together, no matter what color you are.
Yeah.
I think that black people need to assimilate. It's nothing wrong with black people working with white people. There's nothing wrong with black people working with Jewish people. It's nothing wrong with having multicultural people working at your facility as a black man.
I don't think we'd literally, it's literally impossible. We don't have the economics to not be able to assimilate. I mean, obviously we have to be able to build allyships with communities outside of ours. That's just how economics works, right? But the idea that black people are just complaining and we can't. There was a business known as the Fearless Fund. I shared this link I don't know how many times by now. So it was the Fearless Fund, and they were a black woman-owned venture capitalist fund who gave small business grants to specifically black and black women-owned businesses, right? So there's this conservative organization known as Alliance something, I don't know. He's one of the anti-DEI ghouls, right? So he sued them using civil rights era law, anti-discrimination law, stating that what they were doing by focusing on specifically black businesses was racist. So when we're told, and the judges agreed with them. So when we're told pull yourself up by your bootstraps, we see black people doing this, and then they use the federal courts to sue those bootstraps away.
Yeah.
So obviously, the goal isn't really for black people to become self-sufficient. It's for them to
be an American.
What?
It's to be an
But
American.
black people have a specific history in this country
Right,
that has
but-
led to them
but-
to have these bad outcomes.
No,
so,
we need to.
we can't approach the table the same as a white person.
We
If
can.
we're coming from here, we can't both approach the table like
No,
this,
no, no,
bro.
no.
Like,
You
we
look,
have to
look.
both
You,
be on
you,
equal
because
footing.
you
So
think.
in order for black people to
You
be
think
up
you're
here,
under.
we have to pay specific
you-
attention because specific attention was paid to the detriment of black
But
people
you're
for
saying
hundreds of
you're
years.
saying approaching the table as white people here, black people here. You're assuming white people are here. White people are here.
Look at the statistics.
No,
and
no,
we can
white-
see
white
that
people are
they
here.
This is a statistical
White people.
reality.
White people are here. There's
Okay,
white
and
people
if they're
that.
here, then we're here.
No, no,
If
no,
they're
no.
here, then we're here. This is a
But
statistical reality.
with you,
Like, what are you
just
talking
just
about?
get for you specifically. There are white people that are not as successful as you.
Yes, we're not talking about outliers. We're talking
No, no,
about
not
the
outliers.
generals.
Not
These
outliers.
Are outliers.
Because
if you
no,
look
no,
at
we
the
are
average,
individuals.
The average white
We-
family has more income than the
The
average black
in
family.
the average white
Because
family is
population-
married.
Black
The
family.
average white family have a two-parent
Okay,
household.
and there are white families that are divorced. You're talking about outliers. We're
I'm not talking about outliers. I'm talking about generic principles that can help you be successful. So as a black man, you wake up, I don't know wherever demographic you wake up in, how do you be successful in America? You be successful by doing these things. That's how anybody will be successful.
That's
America,
not a guarantee. That's not a guarantee.
nothing is
It's
a guarantee for white
Life's
people.
no
either.
guarantee.
It's that if you want to make the best outcome in your life, no matter what color you are, that's why that's why we live in America. If we live somewhere else, I'll be telling you something different. You do these things, you will be successful.
Okay, so it's not a guarantee for everybody, but it's even less of a guarantee if you're born into a community that has been systematically underfunded
Or if you-
and has been systematically deprived. Like that's the
I'd say,
entire point.
forget
Sure,
the
things
systematic
can
thing-
be hard for everybody.
I will
but
leave the
if you're-
systematic thing out of it. If you're born into a community where
you
your mom
can't-
and your
no,
daddy
you-
not
you
together,
literally can't leave
if
the
your mom and your
systematic
daddy
thing
not
out of it,
together,
though.
if your mom and daddy not together, you grew up in that community, that's more difficult for you.
Okay, if your mom and dad aren't together because the government
And
specifically
the government didn't do
targeted-
nothing to your mom and daddy.
All right, man.
It's a choice.
So if they're not together because your father got caught up in the war on drugs,
Because he was,
then
no,
that
he
should
didn't
be-
get caught up in war on drugs. He was
Okay.
selling drugs.
He was selling drugs because he
He made
didn't
a
have
decision to do
opportunity.
that. Well,
other black people had
because he was
opportunity.
born into a neighborhood
No,
where his school
that's not, bro. That's
It's
not.
finding
That's not.
excuse.
That's not-
That's literally how
that's
it happens.
not-
man. People
that's
don't just
not
wake up.
realistic.
Like, that is realistic.
No.
That's how it happens. What are you talking about?
No. Why didn't I sell? What'd you
I mean-
say?
People don't sell drugs for fun.
Oh, what community you live in? What community you live in where people sold drugs?
None currently.
Okay, you don't know what you're talking about. So in the community
Wait,
community,
hold on. But where do you live? Is it poor? Is it middle class? Is it
Upper middle. But
right?
still, I
So
can
people
feel
don't
like
sell
you-
drugs where he lives because
they
they
do
don't
sell
need to.
drugs.
Because
They
don't
do
need
sell
to.
drugs. They do sell drugs.
Okay, but are people being arrested?
No, let's-
hold on. So are
let's
people
put this-
being arrested for the drugs in your neighborhood?
Not that I'm.
He don't know. He's not a
Right,
cop. So how will he know?
So
So-
people are
Let-
selling drugs here and they're being
let me explain.
arrested. People are selling
No,
drugs
no.
here and they're not.
Let
being
me
arrested.
explain.
And you're saying that this is
No,
equal.
let me explain.
Man, I'm out of here. I gotta get to
thank
class.
you.
Y'all have a good one, man.
Okay, this guy is actually making excuses. You see this victim mentality we're all talking about. Every single time the victim mentality, they keep on playing this game, which is terrible to listen to. I love Officer Tatum point of view right here. It's simple. It's more harder for you if you come in from a family with broken home. Your father and mother are not together, and probably your mom is the only one raising you up. You understand? It's way more tough for you. Because if you check black families, black homes, it's the reason why black are in the same situation we are in because of our families. We don't have stable homes. The black community don't have stable homes. Either the father is dead, in prison, or is divorced. They don't have stable home. And you can't compare the rate at which a white man is in the aspect of like their numbers. In America, for instance now, white Americans are more in population than black and also Asians. You understand? So in population mass, there's difference. This guy points of view is that white people are here and black are here. It's not like that. White people are like this. Black are like this. You understand? It's actually the same. There are black people who are way richer than some white people who are also in America. This guy right now is having the opportunity to go to college. But he knows that there are also white people who are school dropouts who do not have the chance to finish college, who can't even afford college. You understand? So him seeing himself as someone who is, because of his skin color, is already deprived in life. It's a stupid mindset. I keep on saying this. It's a very, very naive and childish mindset. Waiting for the government to settle all your bills is a very stupid behavior. It's a lazy man attitude. So me seeing him right is looking for every means of excuse to say that he has been victimized. Every means of an excuse, he is just looking for that point to pin down Officer Tatum. But he didn't see anyone because Officer Tatum didn't give him the space. So there's no excuse for your decisions. You can't keep blaming the government. You can't keep waiting for reparation. It will never come. Let me say it. Newsflash, it will never come. There's no guidance in as reparation for black people. What happened in our forefathers era, in the aspect of slavery, I do not condone it. It's a very terrible act. What happened was bad. My forefathers were actually enslaved. It's bad. But you do not see me coming out and carrying B-word or saying I'm a victim. It has happened. You move forward. You think about your life. You don't wait for government to bring reparation because you will never see that. You don't expect reparation. Black is not only the ethnic group that have ever been enslaved. It's not only the race that have ever been enslaved. There are also other people who have actually been enslaved before. You understand? So whenever a black man come in and say that they have taken 300 years of their life, 300 years of what life? Are you 300 years now? No. What's happened is that your forefathers were enslaved. We know that. What is happening now in America? Everyone has equal chances, equal opportunities. Everyone can become something of themselves until you make such decisions. It's not easy anyway. If you feel like you are being treated differently, then leave America and go to another country and see how tough it to be. Do you understand? So I don't like people who come here and play the victim card every time and be talking bullshit like this guy right now. He's looking for every means of excuse to say that the government is the reason, or white Americans are the reason why he's in the same position he is. You're going to college, man. Do you know how many people that are dropouts? Do you know how many people that can't even afford college you are going to? Look at the environments you are. Look at the institution you are going to school. You're going to class. You have opportunity to over speak out and go to class. And you're saying you're not as equal as a white man. He's having that mentality that white people are higher than him. I don't know why. The same black people will never, this same man like this, you see him complaining. If he has money, he won't invest in the black companies, number one. He won't even live in a black community. He wants to be big. He wants to live with the white people. The same people he's complaining about. That is how they are. Whenever you see people complaining like this, they have that same behavior. They have that inferiority complex. They feel like they are never better. Like enough. They're not good enough. This guy right now feels like he have to be like the money aspect is what to bring him to the level of a white man. White man and you, it's just the skin tone that is the difference. That is all. Your melanin. That is all. Your mindset should be what matters. How you think should be what is considered facts. Put skin tone aside. I love how Officer Tatum handled him in a very respectful manner. I actually respect every conversation they had, that they didn't blow it out of proportion. Comment down below, think about this video. Give it also a thumbs up. Share the video to as many as you can, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you stay safe.